Sometimes love doesn't hurt because it's gone. It hurts because it stayed in silence. Sometimes the person we think about every night thinks about us too, but life stands in between. Sometimes two hearts are close in feeling, but far in reality. You love them deeply, but something feels missing, a gap you can't name. And the worst part, you don't know whether to hold on or let go. You've replayed memories 1,000 times, haven't you? Their voice, their smile, the way your heart settled when they said your name. You wonder, do they think about me too? Or am I the only one holding the pieces of this almost love? You feel like they care. You've seen it in their eyes. But then comes distance, slow, confusing, painful. They pull back, or maybe you do. Not because the love is gone, but because something unspoken sits between you both. And that is what we will reveal today, the real reason behind the distance. Because sometimes love exists, but connection fades. Sometimes feelings are real, but timing is cruel. And sometimes the person who loves you the most is the one who holds themselves back the hardest. Stay with me till the end. What you discover might finally explain everything you've been feeling. 1. They love you, but they fear losing you. If someone truly loves you, distance doesn't always mean they stopped caring. Sometimes it's fear. Fear of not being enough for you, fear of disappointing you, fear of losing you before they even have you. They push away not to forget you, but to protect themselves from the pain of wanting you too much. They pretend to be fine without you, but inside, they feel your absence like a missing heartbeat. You might think they're cold, distant, uninterested, but deep down, they're terrified that if they get closer, they'll fall even harder. And the thought of losing you one day destroys them. Maybe the problem isn't a lack of love. Maybe it's the fear of how powerful that love could become. 2. They hold you close in their heart, but far in reality. Imagine this. You're sitting alone at night, scrolling through your chat, reading old messages again. You smile at jokes you both shared, stop at the good night they sent months ago, and your heart whispers, they cared. I know they did. But then another thought hits. If they cared, why are we so distant now? The truth is, sometimes a person loves you quietly. Not with grand gestures, not with constant messages, but in the way they pause when they hear your name, in the way their voice softens when you enter a room. They may not tell you every feeling, but their heart never forgets. Maybe they look at your photos when no one is watching. Maybe they type long messages, then delete them before sending. Maybe they want to talk, truly talk, but they don't know where to begin. Because deep love makes people fragile, and sometimes the heart hides the person it loves the most. This distance isn't coldness. It's a storm inside them, one they can't put into words. 3. Life pulled you both in different directions. There was a time when conversations flowed without effort. You laughed together, shared secrets, talked about dreams and late-night thoughts. It felt natural, like breathing, but slowly, without warning, life began to interfere. One day you were close, and the next, distance was growing like a wall neither of you intended to build. Maybe responsibilities increased. Maybe careers, studies, or family became louder than love. Maybe both of you wanted to talk, but time slipped away like sand through fingers. It's strange, isn't it? How two people can care deeply, yet drift apart without a fight. Not because love ended, but because life demanded attention elsewhere. And you began to feel it. Shorter replies, longer gaps, messages left unseen. Not out of ignorance, but exhaustion. You waited for them to text. They waited for you too. Both checking phones, both hoping the other would break the silence first. It's a soft kind of heartbreak, the one without blame, the kind where you don't know who let go first. You still think of them when something funny happens. They still think of you when their day falls apart, but those thoughts stay locked inside. Life taught both of you to be strong, to prioritize, to move on. Yet the heart disobeys. It remembers. Maybe destiny didn't separate you. Maybe timing did. Maybe the universe pressed pause, not stop. And here's the part most people never realize. Distance doesn't always mean the relationship is over. Sometimes it means there is unfinished love between two souls, waiting for the right moment. One message, one call, one honest conversation could change everything. But will it ever happen? They thought you didn't feel the same. Sometimes the biggest distance is not created by time or life, but by misunderstanding. Maybe they loved you quietly, waiting for a sign, just one sign that you felt the same. But you were waiting too, both standing at two ends of a fragile bridge, hoping the other would take the first step. And when you didn't, they thought, maybe I'm not important. When your reply came late, they believed, maybe they don't need me anymore. When you smiled a bit less, they felt, maybe they're happier without me. So instead of asking, they assumed. Instead of trying, they stepped back. Not because they wanted to leave, but because they wanted to protect their heart. Imagine them late at night staring at their phone, typing, "I miss you," then deleting it because they feared your silence more than their loneliness. They practiced conversations in their head. What to say if they met you again, what jokes to use, how to hide the tremble in their voice. But the fear of rejection is powerful. It convinces the heart that disappearing hurts less than being ignored. And maybe you thought the same. Maybe both of you loved each other in silence, two hearts beating for one another, but separated by unspoken words. This distance isn't cold, it's full of love that never found expression. It's a love story unfinished, paused mid-sentence. A story where both people cared, but neither believed they were cared for. And what if the only reason you're apart is because both of you were afraid to say, "I wanted you too"? Love was never the problem, expressing it was. If you think about it, distance doesn't always come from lack of emotions. Sometimes it comes from too much emotion, feelings so deep that neither heart knows how to hold them without trembling. Maybe the love was real, maybe it still is. Because think carefully. Why does their name still sting? Why does one memory bring tears you hide behind a smile? Why does your heart still beat faster at the thought of them returning? People don't haunt our hearts without reason. If they were meant to be forgotten, you wouldn't be here, watching this, searching for meaning in the silence that stands between you. Sometimes God, fate, or life separates two people not to break them, but to grow them, so that when they meet again, they love right. Maybe you need a distance to understand your feelings. Maybe they needed it to mature, to heal, to learn how to love gently instead of fearfully. Sometimes love isn't about holding on. Maybe one day the distance will melt. Maybe one brave message will rebuild everything. Or maybe this love will live forever as a beautiful unfinished story, a reminder of how deeply your heart can feel. Whatever the outcome, remember this: you were capable of loving deeply, and that itself is a gift. If this touched your heart, if you felt even one line in your bones, then don't leave just yet. Join me here, where we understand love, heartbreak, healing, and the silent emotions